Seal One is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for a 25% off discount.
Hey, Leadheads. Welcome back to the Talking Lead podcast.
It has been a while.
You can tell it's been a minute since I've done this. Yes, I took a few weeks off and got messages from everybody saying, what happened to the show? Nothing happened to it. I just didn't record anything. I wanted to take some time off, take a little break, refresh, recharge my batteries.
Chill by the pool.
And, no, the pool's still closed. Haven't opened the pool yet. That's on the list. That's on the agenda. But I've been doing some things. We're going to talk about that. This is just going to be a rap session. We're just going to talk, do it from the hip. Got our good buddy, longtime leadhead, just Chad now joining us. Ladies and gentlemen.
Free agent.
So he's going to explain that. What's on your hat? What's that say? Get a little closer. Tennessee, baby. Look at you.
Little Tennessee action for you.
Supporting the best state in the union right there. Also joining us is another longtime leadhead. Not as long as Chad, though. But Nikolai has been around for a while. Also known as Aura. I don't know what you call these days.
Depends on where I'm at.
Depends on where you're at, who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Whether it's a sketchy area of town or not.
I live in the sketchy area. What are you talking about?
And Nikolai has some news he's going to drop on you leadheads. Exciting news. I think you guys are gonna like this, and I know I do. But we're going to talk about that coming up also.
I don't even know what it is, but I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, you're going to be. I guarantee it. You're going to be in on this, and we're going to drop it in just a minute. Love your background there, Nikolai. You got Occam Defense hanging up there. You got a Talking Lead green toolbox with a Talking Lead license plate.
Heck yeah.
Hint, hint.
Didn't turn out too bad.
Nice.
Keep the reflection down there. I like that. So Aura has started a company, and you did it a while back, but then you kind of took off for a little while, got out of it, and now you're back in it. So tell everybody a little bit about the new company.
Yeah, so I had 9-3 Tactical, kicked it off. I guess it's probably been a couple of years now. And then my work life kind of took over, and I went back down to one job. So I've been able to step back into it a little bit. And so you can find, I'm on the grams at 9-3 Tactical, just spelled out.
I'm pulling it up now. And we've shared this in the past, and I think several of you guys went and followed. But if you haven't, go and follow him again, because this is going to play into the information that we're going to be dropping here soon. So keep talking, and I'm going to share this.
All right. So, yeah, I'm getting it kicked back off the ground just kind of as a side project, and got a few new products that I'm coming out with, lean towards the Talking Lead podcast.
Yeah, baby.
First off, we cranked out a few patches here.
Let me put you up there. Look at there. Leather patches. And these are iron-on, right?
Yep. They just got an iron-on back. I put a piece of cloth over the top of them, hit them with heat from an iron on the front side, and they stick to about anything you want them to. We got the standard Talking Lead, Leadhead Brigade.
It's 930 Tactical, correct?
N-I-N-E-T-H-R-E-E.
What?
N-I-N-E-T-H-R-E-E. 9-3.
Okay. And then...
damn it. There we go.
Oh, Marty's got them all up at once.
Here we go. It's like I say, it's been a while since I've done this, so I forgot where all my damn buttons and shit are. So sharing the screen isn't as fluent as it was. So if you're interested in getting these patches, you can go to the 9-3 Instagram page and let Nikolai know. And what he's doing is they're $30 for one, or what were you deciding on? $25 for one? I don't know.
Yeah, let's do 25, and it's going to kind of help support the Talking Lead podcast and also put a little bit of money back in my pocket to reimburse for the time and the cost.
Yeah. So the reason we're doing this is I'm trying to get more crowdfunding going on instead of relying on sponsors and advertisers because they're not reliable. So, but you listeners are. So I want to provide something of value to you. Yeah, you could probably go get these a lot cheaper somewhere else. But again, like Nikolai said, this is going to support the show. So we're running a deal on these. You get $25 each. Or if you want all three, then Nikolai will run a special deal for you. What, not $10 off or something?
Now let's do all three for 50.
Okay, there you go. $25 each or all three for 50. And you send him a message on the grams, and then also email. You can email him. What's your email address?
Oh,
Or you want to email me?
Yeah, let's just do yours. I don't have one set up for 9-3 yet.
Okay, then just email me, and mine is talkingled@gmail.com. And again, I forgot where all my damn buttons are. There's a little thing here. I can pop that up. There it is. Boom, right there. If you're watching this, email talkingled@gmail.com. And then Aura on Instagram, or you can hit me up on Instagram too. Either way, just tell me or tell. I say Aura. It's Nikolai or Aura. You bastard, changing your name. And we can get these to you. Also, the license plate that he has there, that's going to be available. Also, those are going to be going for what, $30?
Yeah.
Yeah, license plates for $30. And there's going to be some more things coming too. So stay tuned. And again, this is to support the show. So I need listener support. I'm going to start relying on you guys to keep the show going. Again, the advertisers, the sponsors haven't been as reliable as we'd want them to be. Right, Chad?
Correct.
Chad knows exactly how that is. But Chad is no longer, I mean, you're still in the firearms industry, but you're not doing anything.
I'm not.
Right?
I'm totally unaffiliated at the moment.
Chad took a sabbatical. Been working on some motorcycles. Been traveling around a little bit. Like you see his hat there. He came up to Tennessee. Didn't come see me.
I was so close too.
You were just right there.
Yeah, but you were at your mom's place, and I didn't want to make things awkward.
I know. I mean, you could have stayed at my house. The back door is unlocked. Probably shouldn't put that out on the Nationwide.
Probably not. You might want to edit that out.
I don't care. It's one of those fuck around, find out. You come to my house, it's not going to go easy for you, even if I'm not here. But yeah. So Nikolai, again, it's 9-3, and let me see if I can type that up. You don't have a website yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Crushing it. It's got all the products and no website. It's doing good.
We decided to do this about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, it's all 2 hours ago. He sent me a text with the picture of the patch on there. I'm like, dude, those are fucking awesome. We got to do something. So
I've been making a bunch to fundraise for the church here.
Awesome.
Yeah, show those as well. Yeah, so was it Greek Orthodox? Is that what you are?
Greek or Russian, just Eastern Orthodox.
Eastern Orthodox. Does Marco go to your church?
Same, not the same one, but
I'm just
very similar.
Yeah, those are cool. So with that said, I mean, he can do anything that you want basically on these patches. But again, the Talking Lead ones, I want you guys to go buy those, support the show. It's $25 a patch, or you can get all three of those logos. Talking Lead logos for $50 plus shipping. That doesn't include the shipping because shipping is fucking ridiculous these days. So you're gonna have to pay for the shipping also. And Nikolai will give you instructions on how to pay. I think you got some kind of electronic payment, right?
Yep, we can do PayPal, I think I got Venmo and Cash App.
Okay, very good. So email me, talkinglet@gmail.com if you want those patches, or go to my Instagram or Aura's, which is 93tactical. And I'll put that up on the screen. You'll see it right here.
You can also find me on
Where else
Instagram, just under Nikolai Aplanalp. It's Nikolai with an underscore Aplanalp, just like it's on the screen there.
APABBLANALP. I remember the first time you sent that. I was like, "What the fuck is this guy's drunk or something?"
It's not very common in the States, but
It's not. It's an unusual last name.
there's a few of us running around.
But good old Nick. So thank you for doing that, Nick. And guys, again, I'm looking for listener support here. So I'm trying something new. We're still going to do giveaways. I'm still going to do giveaways with our. They're fine with, these companies are fine with giving stuff away. They just don't want to pay. So I'm sure it's no problem still getting giveaway items for us to give away. So the AK Corner, we're still working on bringing that back. That's coming. So stay tuned. It'll probably be next year before we bring that back, but you never know. Stay tuned. Looking at some options there. So Chad, what have you been up to since? Who were you with last? Or what's that gun you got?
What's that?
Oh, I didn't know you left EAA. I brought my my carrier piece.
Oh, the last gun company. Yeah, I was at EAA.
That's right, EAA.
Mm-hmm.
And
Your son.
I mean, it worked on Aura. He went and bought a EAA.
No, I had that long before Chad worked there.
Shut up, Aura. No, you didn't. You bought it because
okay.
Chad was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and now you're going to send it back because he's not there. And you were doing some stuff with Hazard 4?
Yeah, I was just 1099. Those guys was just helping them with influencers and stuff.
Yeah, and they've got some cool bags and stuff. I'm familiar with Hazard 4.
Definitely the best quality I've ever come across. And the owner, Philip, he's a very smart guy, and he keeps pushing the envelope on just bringing products to market that haven't been done before. Not just with the bags, but there's a bunch of accessories. Their website was one of the things I wanted to work with them on before the tariffs scared them away from marketing. But I wanted to work on their website because there's a ton on their site that's not immediately visible. So you kind of have to dig around on hazard4.com to find all the hidden treasures in there. But they make a lot of great innovative products besides bags.
Yeah. And I think I figured out how to share my screen again. So
that's good.
It's just, we had a storm here. I think my internet's jacked up. Let's see. Before presenting a screen, remove other media. Oh, God. It has been a while since I've used this. There's Hazard 4 right there.
There you go.
And you can sign up and get a 10% off right now.
There you go.
Look at there.
Mention my name and you can pay 20% more.
You can pay 20% more. But yeah, we talked about maybe getting that guy on. He's got a kind of an interesting story.
Yeah, Phillips, he'd be a good interview too.
Yeah. So I'm still interested in possibly getting him on.
Yeah. Great company, great guy. I just, like I said, with all the nonsense going on overseas, they're having a bit of an issue with their budget. So I'm not permanently like done doing work for him. It's just on a hiatus until further notice kind of thing. So
yeah. And now here's Aura's Instagram for 93 Tactical, NINETHREETACTICAL, whatever, Tactical.
It's been a while since I put anything on there, so I'll get these patches uploaded and
post those patches up there so they'll see that, and that'll be a most recent post. And then you guys just message him up there, or again, you can go to Talking Lead's Instagram if you're following us on Instagram. If you're not, you should be. And if you're listening to this and you're not watching the video, go to Rumble. Start a free account on Rumble. Subscribe to us and watch the videos on Rumble. Even if you don't watch the videos, you don't like watching videos, you just like listening, go and subscribe because it gets our numbers up. It helps us out. So again, I'm looking to you listeners. I'm looking to the Leadhead Brigade to build us up, to support this show. I think we're going to be able to do a lot more when I have audience listener support rather than relying directly and solely on these companies to keep us going. So maybe a Patreon account in the future. I don't know. Right now, I think if we can just get enough going through Aura with selling some of this swag, these patches, license plates, the other things that we're going to come up with. We're going to do some leadies. Aura's going to do some leadies. Ever since James at the
Factory 47
was doing our AK corner stuff. He passed away. I just haven't been able to get our new logo up there, get new products from them. So at least we can get some leadies going. We can get the Talking Lead logo. We can get the AK corner logo going. So that's kind of the news. It's kind of some things I've been working on since the last episode. And another thing that I did a thing, guys. I went and got my armed personal protection license.
Nice.
So this past weekend, they were doing those, what was it, the No Kings protest around the country?
Mm-hmm.
And they had one in Murfreesboro, which is the town I live in, Nashville, I think Gallatin, Cookeville, Tennessee, down in Memphis, a couple other places. They were spread out. But I was at the one in Nashville, and I was assigned to the Ryman Auditorium. So I was with a team there that was assigned to do riot control. If anything broke out, which it didn't in Nashville. So it was, very uneventful. So I took it upon myself to go infiltrate the crowd there and just take some videos, take some pictures, talk to some people, get some intel on these guys. And I made a video post on Instagram, just kind of montage of some of the videos and pictures. But for the most part, it was fine. There was no violence. They were just loud and whiny and what you would expect them to be. But they were there for that. The No Kings, they were protesting ICE. They were protesting, what's that Mexican guy that got deported and then they brought him back?
Sure.
He's getting ready to stand trial for human trafficking here in Tennessee. So the day before this protest, they were here for that, and there was hardly anybody that showed up for that. But I think they blended in with this next day protest with the No Kings because there was Mexican flags and people talking about this guy and whatever. Horrible individual. Beat his wife. Human trafficking, like I say, human trafficking. But these people want him to go free. They don't, and that due process is like no due process. So they want the law and they want due process, but they want him to go free. That's not due process. Due process is he has to go through the system because he's been charged with a crime. So due process is part of that. He has to go to court and defend himself, which obviously he pleaded not guilty.
It's not news that these people will just use anything to spit out the stupid stuff they spit out. Like 1 minute, they're all for the government control of just about everything. And then the next minute they're yelling no kings. Which is it? Or they're talking about how the Constitution is an outdated document. And now they're saying that this current administration is stepping on people's constitutional rights. Well, which is it? So it doesn't matter what they say. It's all going to be freaking nonsense anyway because they're just stupid.
Well, they just want to protest.
Exactly.
Trump's in office, so 5 years ago when he was in office, they're like, oh, this is going to be great. We get to get out and protest and yell and scream and cry again.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of and I noticed in the crowd that it was a bunch of baby boomers that were there. A bunch of older hippie baby boomers that are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a good mix. There was younger people. There were.
I'll tell you what. If you asked any of those people why they were there, if they were absolutely honest, they would shrug their shoulders and go, "I have no idea."
I did ask them. I did.
No, I'm saying if they were honest with you, their answer would be, "I don't know why I'm here."
Well, they thought they knew why they were there, and all it was because Trump is an evil tyrant trying to take over our country. Basically be a dictator. ICE are his minions that are illegally detaining and arresting people.
Oh, so they're all legal experts now.
Yeah, but they all had the exact same talking points.
I said they all have talking points, but whenever you dig any deeper, it just falls apart for why they're there.
They don't know what's behind their talking points. They don't know the reason behind their talking points.
Yeah, so if they were honest, they would just tell you they have no idea why they're there. They don't know any of those laws. They don't know any of that stuff. They're just making it up.
No, I did have one honest person that said they came because they're here for the train wreck. They're like, I just want to see this thing go completely upside down. That's why I'm here.
That's nice.
Like, me too.
Yeah, well, how about rallies where people just get together? I'll tell you, here's a perfect example. I was just about to say, what if there were rallies where people just got together because they just agreed on one thing and they're all super happy to be around each other? And I'll tell you when that happened. Right after 9/11, I just told this story yesterday to a friend of mine. Right after 9/11, I was living in Los Angeles when it went down. The day after, it was the evening. It was that evening of September 11th. I was in my apartment, and I lived 1 block away from like the main strip, the main road that goes all through the valley, and just on the other side of the Hollywood Hills. And I was in my apartment, and in the LA, most apartments don't have any air conditioning, so I'm just laying there with my windows open, it's dead quiet. And all of a sudden, I hear horns honking. It started with a little bit of honking, and then it just got into like a full-blown. I don't know what was going on. It sounded like we were being attacked or something. So I got dressed. I went down. I walked a block over where all the noises come from, and I was completely shocked to see from one end of this street. It goes about. It's a strip, and the part where there's a bunch of stores and venues and all that stuff. It's probably about like 6 miles long, and from end to end, it was full of all people from all walks of life flying American flags, and they're all there like united together, because we just got attacked, right?
Yeah.
But I even told myself when I saw that, I'm like, this is probably the first and last time I'll ever see this in California, in Los Angeles anyway.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everybody was there to unite. Now it seems like people just want to show up and like you said, watch the train wreck. It's like, I don't know, our society just loves drama.
But either they want to watch it or they want to cause it. They want to cause the train wreck. And
exactly, yeah. And
this crowd that was in Nashville, and I've heard of other protests throughout the country, like California. I mean, they've been violent, and there was no violence that I heard of or was aware of. And while I was there in the crowd, I mean, there was no violence whatsoever. I'll give them that. It was very peaceful protest. They were just doing their little cheerleads, their chants, waving their flags, the American flag upside down, which, I have my issues with that, but.
Well, that just signifies distress.
Well, I know what it, but.
And I love how, that's the other thing too. I love how they're burning American flags, 4 summers ago, and now they're just flying them upside down.
Yeah.
Now they're all for the American flag and what it represents, especially if it's upside down and it represents distress.
Yeah, but there was about 3,000 to 5,000 people. I mean, there was a lot of people, and this was just in the one area. It was around the Bicentennial Mall area there in Nashville. And like I said, I posted a video, so you guys can go to the Instagram and see it there. I may pull some up later in the show. I've got just tons and tons, but everybody I talked to also, I asked them where they were from. I was like, all right, where are you from? Everybody was from here. They said, I'm from here.
Well, that's why it was peaceful.
Oh, you're from Nashville? Yeah, from Nashville. was like, okay. And then I'd go to somebody else. Where are you from? And you could tell in their accent. I mean, there's a lot of transplants here in Nashville. Don't get me wrong. And I'm sure that a lot of the people were from Nashville, but not everybody there was from Nashville. That place was covered. All the parking areas were completely full. And again, like I said, there was like 3,000 to 5,000 people in this one area. This not counting just the normal downtown Nashville crowd, down on Broadway and 2nd Avenue, because there was a lot of people down there too that weren't paying any attention to these jack wagons. Just enjoying themselves. The bachelorette parties, were kicking off going. But I think it lasted until about 2:00. It was like from 10 to 2 or something like that. So we did some recon there in the beginning, took some pictures, interviewed some people, went back to the Ryman. Again, nothing happened there. It was completely fine, no issues. Kevin Hart was in concert last weekend. So I was saying his crowd's going to be probably more rambunctious than these guys are going to be. But no issues. I think the storms helped with that too, because we got a message that this group was planning on reassembling that night in downtown Nashville and protesting some more, but storms came in, so luckily that didn't happen. But it was interesting to be just amongst the crowd and just overhearing people's conversations and what they're whining and crying about. It's you watch any of the major news networks, and that was their buzzword. They're just parroting exactly what they're hearing from CNN, from all these liberal leftist news sources, and it was kind of surreal, just being amongst it, because I'd never been like in that kind. I've seen it on TV, but I've never been to like a real one and been amongst it, and I stood out like a sore thumb because I have my Cryptek just khaki button up, short sleeve shirt on, have my cargo pants on, boots, my normal boots that I wear, and I guess just my look. I don't know, because people, when I come up to them, they were real skittish, real skeptical. They're like, why are you asking me that? Why do you want to take my picture?
What federal agency are you with?
I was like, this is history. So you guys are making your part of history. You don't want to record history? They're like, yeah. So
anything to be heard. That's why we're here.
I placated a little bit. I didn't try to stir up shit or cause problems.
Were you out there chanting, Marty?
I was not chanting. I was like listening to their chants, and I was just shaking my head like, oh, gosh, these people are ridiculous. It's one of those things where you got to be there to actually, I don't say appreciate it, but just understand that how ridiculous these people are. The news doesn't come anywhere close to showing you what's going on at these rallies, protests, whatever they call them. So, but that's what I did this weekend. That's what I've been doing over the past 3 weeks. Like I said, I got my armed personal protection license. You guys have heard in the past few episodes, I've had the guys on from the Squadron, Augmented Protection Services, SAPS, and the Tennessee Rangers. So I am now part of that organization, SAPS and the Tennessee Rangers. Nice. So I'll probably, as I get more involved with this, with the executive protection and that side of things, I'll have some pretty interesting stories, hopefully, to tell you guys. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing. That's why I took some time off, but I'm back. We're going to get the show, going regular schedule, get all our cool, interesting guests back on. I was watching Newsmax before we got on, and I don't know if you guys know who Jason Redman is, Jay Redman. He's a former Navy SEAL. He's written a book. I had him on a few years ago.
Wait, a Navy SEAL wrote a book?
Yeah, right. This was like several years ago, before it became cool to Navy SEAL write books.
I wish they'd all write books. I'm just busting.
No, it's a really good book. You should read it. I can't remember the name. I'll post it when I go back to post. I'll put it up here so you guys can have a link and see what it is. But he got shot. several times in the face. So he's had like all kinds of reconstruction surgery on his face and his arm, and all this. He's a motivational speaker now, but a really cool cat. But he was on Newsmax, and they were asking him about the Israel-Iran fiasco that's going on right now. There's a lot going on in our world. You got the Israel-Iran, you got the Ukraine and Russia still going on. You got these protests that are going on. I think there's something going on in Thailand. Is it Thailand? I don't know. There's stuff brewing everywhere right now. So what do you guys think about the Israel-Iran conflict that's going on?
I'm all for it.
You're all for it? You think it's overdue?
You think what?
You think it's long overdue?
I think it's way long overdue.
Well, they have been posting that the Iranians have been weeks away from a nuclear weapon since 1984, I think was the first time they posted that.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of a hard time believing that, but
that so I'm gonna the one, or that they don't already have one.
That they have one, but I don't know. I'm probably the unpopular opinion.
Well, no, what he's saying is that they've been saying that they've been close to having a nuke for ages, for decades.
Yeah, 40-some years.
Now the media is reporting that, they were close to having a nuke. Well, it's been going on, like he's saying, it's been going on forever. So that's why I think this whole thing's long overdue. But the one thing that you can't dismiss is the fact that the leadership in Iran have stated over and over and over again that they want to annihilate Israel, and they want to annihilate the West, and including the United States. They tried to assassinate Trump a couple times already. So, it's time. It's way overdue. They should have gone in and stripped these morons of any capacity to make any weapons whatsoever. And I feel like our government should have done a much better job of regulating the relationship between China, Russia, and Iran, and any other psycho country.
Do you think the attempt on the assassination attempt on Trump was Iran?
That's what they're saying. That's what intelligence people are saying, but I don't know. That's the thing. Who knows if it's true?
I still think it's a 3-letter agency that's behind that.
Well, probably.
And the past administration.
Well, I'm sure that's part of it. Yeah,
it's more likely than Iran, but yeah. So it's it's real shaky right now with that. The Ukraine, the Russian conflict still going on. It's basically World War right now without it being a world war. We've got big conflicts going everywhere, and we're kind of, we're in both of those, involved with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just not officially, I guess. We haven't entered into any of those. Just like China hasn't officially entered into any of those, but they're involved also.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I doubt our Congress is ever going to be involved in World War III. I don't think it's going to go down that way.
I was seeing if there was an update. Trump ends Situation Room meeting following warning to Iran regime on alert. President Trump convened a meeting in the Situation Room at the White House Tuesday as the U.S. weighs its response to the Israel-Iran war. A U.S. official told Fox News that strikes on targets inside of Iran, including nuclear facilities, are on the table. I thought Israel already punched out all those sites.
No, from what I saw so far, they maybe a third of them, but they took out their leadership, most of the leadership. So they've been launching rockets now, like one by one. I guess they don't really have a whole lot of people that know how to do that. So
somebody also made a post that all the Domino's pizza sales around the Pentagon had skyrocketed over the last day or two. I think there's a lot of war room meetings going on now.
There was a pretty surreal post that I saw that I think it was a commercial flight flying into Dubai as the Iranians were launching all their ballistic missiles, and it showed them coming up into the atmosphere and streaming through. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, I saw that video. It's pretty cool. I recently saw one where it was just a single rocket. Like, apparently they've been launching singles instead of multiples now. So I guess
they're running out.
Well, yeah, it could be that just that region's running out, or they're getting low, or they don't have enough people spread out far enough to really know how to launch those things. I don't know. Whatever. We'll never know, but I mean, it's pretty much all speculation until somebody official comes out and says what's going on.
Here's a news breaking. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was hospitalized after allergic reaction. I heard about that right before we got on. I heard they were taking her to the hospital, but they didn't know what it was. So it's apparently officials confirmed the Republican cabinet member is alert and on the mend following precautionary medical attention. U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem was taken to the hospital on Tuesday after suffering an allergic reaction, according to DHS spokesperson. She was transported to the hospital out of an abundance of caution. It is unclear what triggered the event. Allergic reaction. Well, I mean, I think everybody's allergic to, was it arsenic? Somebody trying to poison her? That's all. Yeah, that's all we got on that right now. So more to come on Kristi Noem. That would be some shit if somebody was trying to kill her, huh? That was an assassination attempt?
Yeah, that's interesting. It could have just been a gluten allergy.
Or, yeah, it could have just been a gluten allergy. Or a Botox reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Allergic to her Botox.
I'd still give her my phone number.
Speaking of assassinations, what about the Minnesota shit that happened? Did you guys hear about that?
Oh, yeah. Briefly, yeah. What happened there?
I'm going to pull it up here.
The guy came in dressed as a police officer, didn't he? And
yeah.
Had a list of like 70 Democratic elected officials for his hit list.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find something here on Fox real quick. Minnesota. Mike Lee draws outrage for post blaming Minnesota assassination on far left. Well, of course they're going to get outraged. They get outraged over everything. Let's see if ABC can give us a fair and balanced. Is that showing up? Oh, well, let me switch it over. Is that showing up yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Catching Minnesota assassination suspect, how a hunch and a mistake led to his arrest. Accused Minnesota assassin Vance Bolter's alleged plan to kill more politicians on his target list was foiled by a police sergeant's proactive hunch.
Ooh, who was on his list?
He had a bunch of people. He actually went to like 3 or 4 people's houses before these people, and they weren't home. That's what I heard.
It pays to go out and rally, I guess.
Bolter was captured Sunday night following what officials described as the largest manhunt in Minnesota history.
Take off, you hosers.
His arrest came roughly 43 hours after he allegedly assassinated Rep. Melissa Hortman, Democrat Minnesota, and her husband Mark in their home, and shot Senator John Hoffman, Democrat Minnesota, and his wife Yvette in their residence while disguised as a police officer. He also had like a rubber mask on, which was like totally Mission Impossible kind of shit.
I mean, these Democrats are all about masks. So.
That's true. It says, at the onset of the manhunt, police discovered a notebook in the alleged gunman's abandoned fake police vehicle containing a list of elected officials who investigators suspect were targeted in a plot that the Minnesota U.S. Attorney described as the stuff of nightmares. Police were alerted to the shooting at Senator Hoffman's home in Minneapolis suburb when Hoffman's young daughter called 911. Do these people not have alarm systems? in their homes? I mean, come on. On Saturday, it reported her parents had been shot by an intruder. After hearing of the shooting, Senator Hoffman's home, a police sergeant in a nearby town, had a hunch and acted on it. Brooklyn Park police officials confirmed sergeant's name is Riley Norden. Burley said the sergeant Norden had just finished his shift and was walking out of the police station when he heard the shooting. He heard it at Hoffman's house. Being alert, seeing 2 officers in the police department, he said, "Hey, drive by the Hortman's house and just check on the house, would you?" The 2 Brooklyn Park police officers arrived, conducted a welfare check at 3:30 a.m., just as the suspect, dressed as a police officer and wearing a hyper-realistic mask, like in Mission Impossible, was walking up to the front door, authorities said. The suspect's black SUV, which was made to look like a police vehicle, fitted the flashing emergency lights and license plate reading police, was parked in the driveway. Dang. That's a felony right there. Already.
Yeah.
Add that to his list.
So,
yeah.
Do you know, you don't know who else was on that list?
Well, that's what they bury that shit in these stories. So I was trying to see if they,
it makes me wonder. I'd be very curious to hear if any of those people that were on that list, if they didn't already own a firearm or have some, way to secure themselves. I wonder if they're going out and doing that, or if they're still going to be anti-gun.
Well, here it goes right here. So Thompson said also in the car they found a notebook containing the names and addresses of more than 45 elected officials, including information on Hortman, information on the elected leaders from other states, and abortion providers was also found in the notebook, as well as a detailed notes from surveillance excursions the suspect allegedly conducted on potential targets. I guess they're probably not going to release who else was on the list because they don't want somebody finishing up the list, I guess.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah,
this
has happened over the last few days, so I'm sure everybody's heard about it. But it's just it's stuff out of movies. There's a picture right there. Looks like Friday the 13th, or what's that? Jason
Voorhees.
Yeah, is that Friday 13th? Who's the one who wears the mask? Not the hockey mask, but the Mike Myers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mike Myers. I don't remember what Friday 13th or Jason. What is it? What's that other horror movie?
They're all
Nightmare.
Mike Myers. Halloween. Yeah, Halloween. There's the dude. That looks like he's got a mask on there, doesn't it? That doesn't look like a real face. Oh, I don't have it up. Let me pull it up. Look at that. Looks like a wax statue or something.
Yeah, from a distance, though, he looks like a politician.
I say he looks like Nixon.
Looks like
a little bit, yeah.
I'm not a crook. I did not shoot those people.
I wonder what this guy's punishment's going to be in Minnesota.
Oh, I'm sure he'll get a slap on the wrist.
Be out on bail in 3
Looks
days.
like he vomited all over the bottom of his jacket there. I'm sure they probably roughed him up a little bit.
I mean, I feel terrible for the family. I think, it's kind of speculation, but her family was on that list because she apparently didn't want open borders and was all for this border reform.
Yeah. I mean, dude's obviously a extreme left-wing dude, because he was going after abortion clinics and
yeah, political. They're it's leftists, man. They love to make things. They like to stir the pot, and they like to weaponize people. And this is a result of it. It's not the first time. How long has this been going on?
Forever.
Yeah.
Lincoln. I mean, look at the Lincoln assassination.
Yeah,
John
I just mean modern. There's been a lot of it.
Well, there was a bombing too.
And they're always
long ago.
Yeah, and the leftists always come out and they say, it's right wing, NRA, white men, all the stuff that the people they blame and what they blame, whatever. And
Fascism. It's fascism. We're all fascist.
And every single time it comes back to the leaders, manifesto, and it just talks about a bunch of like liberal nonsense. It's always somebody from their insane side. And I feel like the lack of mental health is like celebrated on the left because they're all so freaking stupid and crazy. Like they're crazy. I don't know of any leftists that I've seen anyway, that any of the media is covering anyway, or even in my personal life, that were just like fully normal people, like fully sane people. And I lived in Los Angeles.
Pull it up. I was trying to find that bombing, and this came out, an epidemic of anti-abortion violence in the United States. And this is from the National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology Information. Don't know exactly who they are or who funds them, but apparently there is an epidemic of anti-abortion violence in the United States.
I haven't heard about it.
See if there was a date on it.
I mean, that's not new.
Here we go. Yeah, this is old data right here. November 1991. No, that's not current news. That's not new news. But yeah, we're just shooting the shit on this episode. We didn't really have anything prepared, but
well, I haven't done anything.
I just kind of wanted to get myself caught up on current events and what's going on because, like I said, I've been kind of out of it for a while.
Nikolai's been the most exciting part of this podcast because he's actually working. He's actually doing something.
He's bringing patches to the table, baby,
and license plates and wherever else he goes with it.
He is bringing the boom.
The sky's the limit.
More to come.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Especially, I've got a couple more laser engravers that should be on the way here soon, so we can ramp up production.
We can ramp it up, crank it up. So yeah, we can get as many of these patches as you want, lead heads. Again, $25 a piece, or you can get all three for $50. That's a limited special that we're running here. So make sure you jump in and get that. You can email me. We're gonna need your address, what you want, which patch you want. You want the Talking Lead logo one, you want the AK Corner logo one, you want the Leadhead Brigade logo one, or if you want all three, or if you just want two, or if you just want one, or if you want 6, if you want 12.
You could do a real limited edition and sign a bunch of them.
We've got some custom stuff in the works too for later on down the road.
Yeah, we're gonna get like legicating the unlegicated. We're gonna get a jackwagon patch done.
Nice. We're
gonna start doing some more, depending on how these sell. If these sell good, then yeah, we're gonna do that. But if nobody buys them, then we're not gonna do them, obviously. But that'll show me how much you guys appreciate my show. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. TalkingLead@gmail.com. Email me. You can go to 93 Tactical on the Instagram, message Aura. That's the best way to do it. If you don't have Instagram, then just email me and your order, your address. I'll forward you on to Aura Nikolai, aka Nikolai, and he'll tell you how you can pay and all the good stuff. And if there's other stuff you want, let him know. Like I say, he can do custom stuff. And what we're going to do, I think what we're going to do coming up in the future also, we're going to do a limited run of patches and number them and put your name on them. Nice. So it'd be like Leadhead #1, Leadhead J or Leadhead Earl or Leadhead, whatever your name is, whatever you want on there. And we'll number them.
So how many years the show been on now?
Well, we started in 2012.
That's right.
Started in 2012, and it is 2025 now. So, 13?
Yeah.
Coming up on 14 years. So 13 and a half years been doing it.
Man, where'd that go?
Right.
I remember the first show. No, it wasn't the first Talking Lead show, I don't think, but the first time I was on was on top of a booth at SHOT Show. Do you remember that? UNC.
It was NRA.
Was
We
it
were
NRA?
at
Okay.
the Wolf. Was it Wolf? Not Wolf. Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf. Yeah.
Remember Lone Wolf?
Yeah.
They brought a double-decker, some kind of double-decker vehicle in. I've got pictures of it. And yeah, we set the studio at the very top of it.
That was cool.
And yeah, we had a good time there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
You had all the rock stars in the industry coming around for the first, actually, shoot, I guess the whole time really, but for me that was real fresh. It was real new to me.
Yeah.
Being in the industry, and like I met so many celebrities, if you will, just from hanging out up there for a couple hours.
Yeah,
awesome.
it was amazing the reception that we got. I mean, we were very welcomed into the industry, and nobody else was doing it. Nobody else was. We were the first to do that, especially bring it to a show like that.
Right. Yeah.
And interview people. I mean, we're one of the first, if not the first, firearms podcast.
And it's funny. There's just the podcast. Like, who knew they were going to take off? They're everywhere. Everybody has a podcast now.
Right. Speaking of, everybody has a podcast now. Chad and I were talking the other day. I think maybe there might be another one in the works.
Start another one. Why not? Everyone else is doing it.
Hey, not making any money at it, but
No, my buddy Joe and I is a former Marine. He's a law enforcement officer. He runs a dog out here protecting the port, our port here in Cape Canaveral, Florida. And we grew up in Cocoa Beach, and Cocoa Beach has, since we were kids, has become kind of famous, and there's a few famous people that come out of Cocoa Beach. So
I love Cocoa Beach. We
were like, man, we should start a podcast. We have so much gossip about this place from the last 45 years. Like, even if we just started it was kind of a local thing.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about, you guys know a lot of famous surfers too.
Yeah, that, and then
that would be
my former music career, a few famous people there. I figured we could probably get a handful of celebrities to start us off, and then go from there. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You can get more than that.
What's that?
I said, I bet you can get more than that.
Maybe. We'll see.
Between the music, the sports, the bikes, the motorcycles and everything, you guys will have a pretty interesting show.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
I'd listen to it.
Yeah,
I think you should call it. I think you should call it the No Pants Required podcast, or No Pants Allowed. No pants allowed.
No pants. No pants dance.
Yeah, that would be cool. So maybe something to look forward to from Chad. Definitely.
Yeah, we got a lot of history we could talk about the industry too.
Might be more talk on this show about that coming up.
Could tell you all the dirty secrets behind the scenes.
You'd spill the beans behind Keltec, so it really is cocaine? That really is the secret?
I will not confirm nor deny.
Or is it ketamine? Ketamine or cocaine? I did
might be acid with some of those designs.
I did a thing with my RDB, speaking of Keltec.
Yeah, it was a 3-day bender on acid, yeah. Oh, nice. Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
How's the trigger on that, Marty?
I mean, surprisingly, for a bullpup, the RDB's triggers aren't that bad.
Right.
Well, let me interject on that. So I think it's a great trigger, not even just for a bullpup. At least mine is. I don't know what yours is like.
No, mine's not that great.
Really?
No.
Did you Cerakote it or something?
Did I get some Cerakote up in there? No, it's never been great. I mean, it's good. It's just not great. It could be better.
Well, my buddy Joe, he won some international titles with the RDB. So.
Yeah, but you guys mod them too.
No, we didn't modify the triggers though.
You did?
No, we've fired so many, probably tens of thousands of rounds through. I don't know, just broken in nicely. But yeah.
Well, I've had problems with this one to begin with. I've given it back to you a couple of times to try to get the shaky loose.
Oh yeah. Did we stake the rail?
I think you finally staked the rail.
Yeah. That's probably just your optic mount.
No, it's not the optic mount. I haven't taken it out in a while, so I wanted to give it a fresh look. So I got I'll be taking it out.
Oh, I was gonna say I've never seen that one. Is that the one you've had for a while? You just Cerakoted it?
Yeah, I just actually
Okay.
I rattle canned it. I didn't Cerakote it. I did.
Oh, nice.
So I got on this kick about putting the truck bed liner on my guns.
Oh yeah.
So I put a base coat with the truck bed liner, and then I'll rattle can it with whatever color or pattern that I want after that. But it gives it a really good positive grip,
Little texture.
even when it gets wet. You still got that. It's kind of like shark grip. I don't know if you're familiar with what shark grip is. It's got that sand in it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like when I forget I have shorts on and I've been down in the bed of my truck and I scrape my knee on them.
Yeah, this will definitely probably scrape your. No, it's not that bad.
I bet that would wear kind of cool too with that undercoat of the bed liner.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah,
But I've done. I did a Glock with this truck bed liner stuff. I did a couple of ARs. I don't know if you can see that one over there. That gray one, kind of grayish, got a pattern on it. That one's done that way.
Is the R silent?
R.
Yeah.
AR. The AR over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went right over his head, Nikolai. I remember it. Hit the wall right behind him.
Sometimes I miss things, man. Sometimes they do go over me because I got like 3 thoughts in my head and I'm not listening. Here's another one. I don't know if I've talked about this one or not, but Bear Creek Arsenal. I made a post the other day on their 6 ARC with Danny Amerson with Warhorse Ballistics. He's tested one out, and I went out with him for his initial shots. It's a bolt action AR, and he's got a 6mm Bear Creek Arsenal upper on it with the bolt action. And it was shooting really good. He just messed up his optic. He forgot he had a second focal plane optic, so all his readings were off initially. And then he realized what he was doing. He's like, "Oh shit!"
I don't know about the bolt action, but I love the Bear Creek Arsenal side charger. I built a 277 Wolverine on that, and man, it's a tack driver. It's taking more deer than.
Let's see it.
I got to go in my safe to go get that.
How long will that take?
2 minutes.
Do it.
All right,
Do
I'll
it.
be right back.
Hey, everybody.
So I got their Grizzly handgun.
That's pretty sweet looking.
$295. I'm gonna mute him. $295. And I got 10% off because they offered a 10% off discount.
How's it shoot?
It shoots great.
What caliber is it?
9
Nice.
9mm. It's basically a Glock 17.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a 17.
17, but I really like their grips. They call it the Grizzly
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah. Nice.
It's really nice. I like it.
Nice trigger too.
Trigger's nice. Yeah, I mean, just straight out of the box.
Is the optics ready?
Yeah, I've got the plate
Oh,
off.
let's see. Yeah, nice. Okay.
I just what's his face from one of those optics companies was supposed to send me one.
What's his face from one of those optics companies?
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of recognition I'm going to give those fuckers if they don't send me shit.
I love it.
Can you tell I'm sick of these fuckers?
Well,
I'm sick of the.
I can still help you out with that kind of stuff.
Well, I would love for you to. Let's talk.
All right.
Let's talk. I want somebody who's actually going to commit and do what they say.
I got a guy for you.
I'm
for product anyway.
Sick of the. Yeah, I mean with my new affiliation with Tennessee Rangers and Saps, probably get them some good sales too. So
Sweet.
Here he is. He's back. We stalled long enough. So tell us what you got there, Nikolai.
It's just a 277 that I built.
Listen, this is a little 277 that I built. Threw together. Parts I had laying around.
What barrel is that?
It's a Mad Dog weapon system. I believe it's a 20-inch barrel.
Man, I think it's cool looking.
Mad Dog weapon system.
So I'm getting about the same ballistics as a 6.8 SPC, but the only change required is a barrel. Everything else is the same as the 5.56.
What's the show the listeners what the round looks like? If you have a comparison, it'd be cool too. Oh, okay.
Let me grab a 300 blackout real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what it looks like.
308.
It looks like a 300 mated with a 39, 760 39.
So you take a 5.56 casing, you chop it down and blow it out to 270.
Oh, I see.
And the ballistics are phenomenal. And it's dropped every deer I've hit with it. But
Hold it up to the. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Which one's which? The one on the.
300 black and then 277 Wolverine.
Okay.
Very cool.
But I've been running that for, oh gosh, probably 10, 12 years now.
What's your bullet weight that you prefer for deer?
I think I'm running 98 grain, I want to say.
Nice. That thing's flying out of there then, huh?
Yeah, I was going to watch.
Yeah, it's moving.
What's the speed on it? Do you know?
I can look it up real quick. Actually, I got a box over here.
I still like 300 blackout. That's my favorite, just all around go-to round.
I've never used it for anything.
You don't?
I don't even have anything. I've got 300 blackout ammo. I don't have a gun for it though.
That's why you don't ever use it.
Exactly.
Send me your ammo,
Okay.
or I'll send you a gun.
There you go. That's easier.
Yeah. You know what we need to do? We need to get with Coop.
All I need is an upper. I got plenty of AR lowers.
Well, they're cheap right now. They're dirt cheap. Get you one. Now's the time to buy.
Okay.
You can get one at Bear Creek Arsenal for like $175.
What?
Yeah.
Adjustable gas block?
I doubt that. I don't think they have adjustable gas blocks on them, but
You should. So
you
can
can always switch
supersonic
for
and
that price.
subsonic.
For that price, switch it out.
Word.
That's cheap. Charging handle, boat carrier group comes with all that.
Somebody from Arsenal's probably watching this going, Marty, you're an idiot. We do have adjustable gas blocks on those.
From Bear Creek.
At Bear Creek, wherever.
They might. I don't know. I've talked to them to come on the show, so they can correct me. You know, if they want to come on the show and correct me, I would love for them to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to spew.
If they'd like to send me one and correct me, I'm all for it.
Theories and falsehoods until they correct me. I'm going to speculate all day long. I'm not going to look it up on the internet.
Yeah. When are you going to get a bike so it can ride?
When these lead heads start buying patches.
Okay. You want me to build you one, or you're going to buy a new one?
What's cheaper?
Me building you one for sure.
Okay. Then I'll let you, or I'll just buy one of your old ones, and then you build yourself a new one. I'll buy the one that I wrecked through the flying RV.
That's funny. I don't need any more projects. I have 4 more to build. I just finished one, man. Here, I'll show it to you.
Then why'd you offer, asshole?
No, I mean I can build you one. I'm not going to build myself one.
Okay. Or so you got it? What'd you find?
Yeah, they're 90 grains and they're moving about 2,600 feet a second.
Okay,
and I have an 18-inch barrel.
That's shitting and getting right there, boy.
Yeah, it's moving.
And that say that round again?
277 Wolverine.
The 277 Wolverine.
That's why I needed that Wolverine's AR mag that you had. Or I need a AR mag Wolverines.
So I need to make an AR Wolverines?
Just for me, though. There's not very many of us running the 277, unfortunately. They did get the Sammy specs finally, and then kind of
does it
fell by the
use
wayside.
AR mag? You just use a regular AR mag?
Yeah, everything's interchangeable except for the barrel. That's the only thing you got to change.
Barrel and the bolt?
No, both the same.
It's the same bolt as a 5.56 or 300 blackout?
Both the same.
That's true. Yeah, they are. Hold on, Chad. Let me pull you up here. So this is your latest project?
Yeah, it's a bike we just finished.
Why do you paint them purple?
73 purple. It's the only purple one I have.
I see a lot of motorcycles in purple.
You do?
Purple and green's the combo to go with. It's a throwback to the old Kawasaki's, man.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is for me.
I just painted mine purple because I grew up in the 70s loving muscle cars, and I like that crazy plum purple that Mopar did.
Yeah.
And that kind of the idea for the bike was to make it kind of muscle car looking. So,
is that yours, or did you build that for somebody?
no, that's mine.
Is that the one?
Long
Is that the one that flew in the RV?
No.
Whoops.
No, there were 5 bikes in the RV that flew.
Yeah, I think yours is the only one that took damage though.
Just a kickstand. Oh, a little bit of the air cleaner, but whatever.
Whatever. That was a good trip.
I fixed it and I sold it to a guy out in California.
Nice. You didn't tell him about the flying RV incident, did you?
No.
He can't pull up a Carfax history on that. So you got that. What else are you building? You said you got 3 other ones.
4 or 5 more. That was that's a 73 shovel head. I'm working on a 76 shovel head, and then I've got 2 49 pan heads after that. I have an 83 FXR shovel head, and then 2 Sportster projects.
Are you still hanging out with the chain art dude?
No. Lucky, yeah, I don't hang out with him anymore.
Okay.
But he was recently in a pretty nasty accident. It was a few months ago now, but in the hospital for like 3 months. They couldn't get him out of there for some reason, but he's going to recover just fine. But he messed him up pretty good. But I only know that because we still follow each other on social media.
Oh, okay. Well, I follow him, but I hadn't seen any feeds from him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Lucky, he was a character.
He still is.
It still is.
Yeah, I think he moved over to the Tampa area, so I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he was doing some pretty interesting things with the bike chains.
He's talented, man.
Yeah, just not focused.
I tried to help him out, but he's a nomad and he's born and raised that way, I guess. So he's not going to change.
Yeah. I mean, you get that age, set in your ways. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I am the same way. I was going to ask you about something else. What was it? Was there something else that you were doing? You're involved with? Oh, I wanted you to talk about your trip to Nashville. You went to the
yeah. So I went to it's called TMMR, the Tennessee Motorcycle Music Revival. It is in where it's at.
It's at Loretta Lynn's ranch.
Yeah, what town is that? I forget. It's got a cool name.
Yeah, I'll think of it in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was a super fun event. I'd never been before. There's quite a few bike builders that go, and then a lot of the kind of more popular guys in the chopper scene. We call them chopular guys.
Chopular, I like that.
Yeah, they go out to support it. It's just a cool event, but it's everyone's welcome. It's not a chopper event. It's just anybody's welcome to go. But a lot of music, obviously. Yeah, there's the ranch.
Hurricane Mills.
Hurricane Mills, that's right. Yeah. So super fun event. They do they've got all kinds of activities going on out there. They do a hill climb. Obviously a bunch of motorcycle events and stuff like that, but there's a bunch of stuff surrounding the place too that is pretty awesome. A lot of good food, and the riding is amazing. I actually rode my bike from there into Nashville and rode around downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
It was pretty weird. So, Nashville, for the listeners that don't, like, all the venues there have balconies, and sometimes the balconies are 3 or 4 stories, and they're just packed full of people. And riding through there, every time I looked up, there was sometimes there's 30 people like leaning over the railing, like, giving me a thumbs up, like.
Sometimes they throw chairs from those balconies.
Well, I'm glad I didn't throw any chairs, but
was it Morgan Wallen? Who was that? Morgan Wallen or somebody threw a chair.
Oh, that's not good. But the bike's got a pretty good reception. I mean, they're like rolling art pieces, so they're kind of hard to miss. But yeah,
it's a cool place. Not a lot of people know about it. They do. I've got some stuff pulled up here. The Chuck Wagon Race.
That's awesome.
They do a trek. They got a Tennessee Trail Jam, Ultimate Jeep Enthusiast Family Vacation. And they got horseback riding there. I know. I don't know if they do it anymore. They probably don't. But Royal Range used to go out there and do some like long range shooting and stuff.
Oh wow, yeah, the property's amazing, and the campsites are really nice too. It's right on a river there. The water's nice and cool. So if you're there in the summertime, it's awesome to swim, and it's real shallow, so the kids can jump in. And
Where did y'all stay?
Little river. I camped out there.
Pitch tent?
No, I took a toy hauler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who'd you go with?
Some buddies from here.
Yeah.
Don't want
to name their names.
Drove all. Well, I mean, nobody will know who they are.
Never. We might have them on the show sometime.
Bunch of good people. Yeah, it was fun, man.
Yeah.
Good
so I'm
times.
looking forward to having the guy you introduced me to the other day when you called me. What's his name?
Joe.
Joe. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Joe on.
Oh, Joe's great.
Maybe his wife. She seemed like she was a hoot.
She's a trip. Yeah, Gemma. She's English, and she's very, very English. Like,
has she got like a strong accent?
She does have a strong accent, but even stronger is her personality and her attitude.
I need to get her and Lee on the same episode.
Oh, and also she's a nurse. She's been a nurse forever. And if you want to talk like ER stories and stuff, she is a very unique way of telling stories. What's that?
Like nightmare stories?
Oh, absolutely. She'll give you all the details, and when we get her going and wind her up, it's hilarious. She's funny.
Yeah, we got to do that. We got to do an episode.
Yeah.
I may or may not have a collection of X-rays of foreign bodies on my phone.
Is your wife a nurse also?
I've worked in ERs as an X-ray tech for the last 20-some years.
Oh, wow.
Well, we'll get you on that episode also.
Absolutely. I bet you got some great stories.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And nobody accidentally falls on a shampoo bottle. I'm just going to say that
now. Here's the thing, man. So we joke around about that, but that's like widespread. No pun intended. But that seems to be like such a.
Depends on the brand.
It's a super common story. I've known a lot of people that work both in law enforcement and then in the medical field as well, and they can all tell. Every single one of them individually can tell you multiple stories about their experiences with that. It's crazy, and they're all over the U.S. too. It's weird. No, it's like a random problem.
Sticking stuff up there.
Tie string to it, guys. That's all I got to say.
Tie string.
Flared bottom.
Just so everyone knows, to be clear, it's not an entrance; it's an exit.
Everybody's got their preferences, I guess.
This is the perfect place to segue into the next trip I took for the motorcycle, which was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I went up to Mansfield, Ohio, and went to the Reformatory where they filmed. Oh my gosh, Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was awesome. So they had a bike show there. There was 200 show bikes inside the prison, and they just park them in front of each cell, going around the different wings. And you can just walk through the whole. They closed it down in 1990, and they didn't change anything, I don't think, since the thing was built. And so the inside of it is just. It's crazy. If you've never been inside a jail before, you can imagine they're not the most comfortable place in the world. But this particular one was shut down because it was inhumane. That's how crazy the jail cells and that whole penitentiary, the way it was set up, is just awful.
So what you're telling me was it's what a jail should be.
I mean, to be honest with you, even I was like. I'm all for criminals paying for their whatever, but so these jail cells are tiny, and you're either facing the three walls or the bars, and outside the bars, all you're looking at is a wall, so that you're just basically in a little box, and it's a really small box, and the ceilings are really low. And I was like, were people shorter back then? Because I'm serious. If you were like 6'1" or 6'2", you'd have to duck the entire time if you wanted to stand up in there. And all the cells were like that. And then their solitary confinement cells, dude, I would have lost my freaking mind if they'd put me in one of those things, because there's a little stool and it's in a silo, and the walls of the silo, and I'm not a big guy. I'm sitting in this thing, and like if I took my elbows from my sides and I just tried to lift them out, I might get like 20 degrees before my elbows hit the walls. That's how close the walls are to you. And it's pitch black in there. You can't even see your hand in front of your face. And I don't know how long they leave people in there, man, but you could legit go insane sitting in that thing. But yeah, anyway, the prison was super cool. The bikes were amazing, and there was
I'm trying to find a picture of the cell. I can't find
massive turnout. It's called Party at the Pen. If you look up Party at the Pen, I guess .com, and you'll see
Party at the Pen.
Yeah, Party at the Pen. They do one in Idaho, and then this was the first one on the East Coast, or the first one east of Mississippi. Yeah, go to the East show. Click on that.
Let me East show. Click to enter.
And you'll see a bunch of
Midwest newest vintage motorcycle show, PATP 2025.
Party at the Pen.
Look at that. So you went to this? Is this what you went to?
Yeah. If you go to images, maybe their Instagram page is probably even better. That's the Idaho penitentiary there that you're looking at, and the Ohio penitentiary they said it was at least twice as big as the Idaho one. The Idaho one's the original show, but they finally
weird. Let's do a motorcycle show at a state pen.
It's the perfect place for it, because most penitentiaries are kind of remote.
Because most of the bike riders belong there. Is that what you're saying?
No. Oh yeah, they do. They have the Wall of Death there. There's all sorts of entertainment and stuff to do, and just outside of just the amazing bikes that are there.
Tattoos, food, beer, vendors, 10 type photos.
10 type photos, yeah. Those are old time photos.
Yeah.
Which I learned you can kill yourself doing those images, by the way.
What do you mean?
You have to be very careful with the chemicals, because if you mix too much of one thing or too little of something else, you create cyanide.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah. Oops. It's pretty wild.
Luckily, somebody else is doing those for you.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys there that are obviously very good at it. And
looks like a good time, man. So they do this couple of places throughout the country?
Yeah, they do it once a year, which is coming up here, I think, in a couple of weekends in Idaho. And then, like I said, 2 weeks ago, I was just at the East show.
Here's the Idaho one right here. September 6th through the 7th, Boise.
Oh, it's not until September. I thought it was in August. But yeah.
Boise. It's in Boise.
Yeah.
That's the same.
So if anybody's out in that area, I highly recommend it. It's a good time, even if you don't have a bike. Just go. It's fun. Very cool vibe. It's kind of like what the firearms industry used to be a long time ago.
Did you get one of these pictures taken?
I didn't. I wanted to, but there was one indoors, which is what you're seeing here, and then they had an outdoor guy who was taking pictures of you with your bike. And It was pretty cool scene with the prison there. But the guy outside was booked. I didn't. There were no openings.
That's the guy on that tattoo TV show.
Yeah, that's Ollie. That's Oliver. Oliver Peck. He's awesome. I spent a lot of time hanging out at his booth at the Party at the Pen.
Dave Navarro. That's that tattoo thing that Dave Navarro did. They still do that tattoo show?
I'm not sure.
Contest, like one of those contest things. It was pretty interesting. I watched a couple episodes of it.
Yeah, Oliver's out of Dallas.
So what else you got planned for the motorcycle tour?
I don't know. Might go to Sturgis in August. And
if you do, let me know.
Okay.
You didn't make it up to the Steel Horse Rally in Fort Smith, did you?
I did not. I didn't know about it.
No, it was last month, I want to say. It was quite the turnout of bikes.
Have you got a bike, Nikolai?
Not anymore. I used to have 3.
I'm not going to ask you. You got married.
I'll look that up.
Yeah, I had 2 Harleys and a Katana.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
I missed the Softail the most.
Yeah, I bet.
Although I think my next bike's probably going to be an adventure bike. I was looking at the Ducati Multistrada or one of the BMWs.
Oh, those BMWs are sick.
Oh, they're so smooth with that Boxer engine.
And they're fast, man.
Yeah.
They're real fast. I want like I kind of wish I lived in Utah or, out there in the West, because I would definitely get an adventure bike and just do a bunch of this moto camp and shoot and stuff off of it.
Yeah, we've got so many places here in the mountains. We're in the Boston Mountain Range, so I guess it's the highest peaks in the Ozarks. So we got some great places to ride, and not everything's paved. So
Right. Yeah, there you go.
there it is.
That's what I'm talking about.
But now my dream bike's the Ducati 916. But
You need to talk to Marco, because Marco's all about a Ducati.
oh yeah, they're a heck of a bike.
My uncle had a Ducati track bike, and that thing scared me.
I was at a red light the other day, and a guy pulled up on a Ducati.
They have a very unique sound. I love the way they sound.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of power, a lot of torque.
What's the ARC? AR?
Oh, what's his name's company?
John Wick.
John Wick's company. John Wick's motorcycle company. Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, those are sick. Have you heard anything about them? Are those good bikes?
They're cool bikes. They put S&S motors in them, and I think Baker transmissions.
Oh really?
So they're definitely very high dollar bikes. But yeah, they build the chassis, and then they throw the power plant in from S&S.
Look at that. That's sick.
Yeah, a lot of power.
Did I see something? Did Buell make a comeback?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Eric Buell's back in it, man.
Okay, I thought I saw a new ad for one the other day.
And they look awesome. Yeah.
Let's look them up. What is it? Buell?
Mm-hmm.
Buell.
Are they still associated with Harley, or?
I'm not sure if he's on his own or if Harley. I don't think Harley has anything to do with him anymore. But I'm not sure on that. But I think he's designing and building his own stuff.
Nice.
But that particular one you just saw there is that's a Buell. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Cruiser.
I mean, they're all cool. Their kind of track bikes are pretty insane too.
Mm-hmm. Still running V-twins on everything?
What's that?
Is he still running V-twins on everything?
Yeah. That I had an 1125 CR, and I traded it for, when I got my truck, I traded it in because that bike scared me too. It was all set up for the track. And I'm like, I took it to work a couple of times. I'm like, I'm going to kill myself in this thing. So it's sat forever.
I mean, you've tried a couple of times to kill yourself.
Yeah, and that wasn't even on a fast bike. Those are cool.
That was a good picture, but it's a video. Well, Cool. So there you go. Maybe we'll talk more bikes coming up.
Yeah, we could do a bike episode. I might be able to get some dudes on.
There's a lot of guys with the Tennessee Rangers and Saps are riders.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know? Did you ever meet Rock
Galati?
Galati? Yeah.
Yeah, I know Rock.
You know, he lives here now. He's in Tennessee now. Yeah, he's part of that organization that I'm with.
Right. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I need to get Rock on with us too.
Do you know what he does?
Yeah, I know what he does.
Okay.
Yeah, he does firearms for the movie industry.
The gun wrangler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude, that guy.
I met him a few years ago. It was at SHOT Show. Well, you remember the Defy watches? You remember that guy?
Nope.
So several years ago, there's this company that's called Defy, and we had a thing. We gave a ton of watches away to listeners, and super good dude. I can't remember his name right now, but he introduced me to Rock Galati at one of the SHOT shows.
Nice.
Super good. That's back when I was doing real estate too, and I just retired my license, and he called me. He's like, "Hey, I'm moving to Tennessee. You still doing real estate?" I'm like,
Dang it.
Yeah.
He bought a nice property too.
I'm sure he did. Yeah. I'm sure it's.
I think the movie industry is where a lot of the AK-12s are coming from now that are getting converted.
Oh yeah.
They'll bring in the prop guns and then swap out the barrels and do everything to get them. That's how they're getting the AK-12s in the States.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Smart.
A workaround. If you
Absolutely.
Oh shit! Y'all hear that?
Is that the
big ass thunder? I may
Oh.
lose power here, but
It hit us this morning. You can have the rest of it.
this has been fun, guys. Appreciate you hopping on here,
I thought you heard the jackwagon train.
getting me back. I mean, it's kind of the whole thing was a jackwagon train. Do you have a specific jackwagon that you want?
Not to be confused with a train wreck, of course. Shoot, man, jackwagons are super easy right now to pick.
I know. I mean, I kind of thought, the whole protest thing was kind of covering jackwagons there. But if you've got more, talk about them, please.
Nikolai, what do you got? You got jackwagons?
I'm going to go with the state of Washington.
Okay, just the whole state.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, they're trying to pass a legislation that's essentially the state law that criminalizes the confidentiality of sacramental confession. So essentially making confession illegal to not be reported upon.
I don't think I understand what you're saying.
So let's see.
I'm trying to find something on it here.
Alliance Defending
Outrage after immigrant Medicaid data shared with federal agencies.
There we go. Alliance Defending Freedom attorneys filed a federal lawsuit on behalf of the OCA, which is the Orthodox Christian Church, or the Orthodox Church of America, and clergy to challenge a new Washington state law that criminalizes the confidentiality of sacramental confession. The suit argues the law violates the First Amendment by targeting clergy with penalties, including jail time and fines, if they refuse to report certain confessional information.
That's insane. They're going to go after your doctor next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Confidential. It's confidential. That's
they're just
the whole reason you do confession.
Leftists are doing all kinds of stuff, man, to try to destroy the church.
Absolutely.
Was that the big beautiful bill? Didn't they include SBRs in that? I heard.
I heard.
Yep.
I saw what just got added as suppressors. They're taking those off the NFA.
Well, that was part of it. The suppressors were part of that, but I think they threw the SBRs on top of that also.
Well, they should, yeah.
But I think what they're doing, I don't know that they're taking them off the NFA list. I think they're just dropping the tax. I think that's all they're doing.
From what I saw from Mr. Guns and Gear was that they were getting rid of they're getting off the NFA.
That way you just
I've heard
4473 and you're good to go.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Same way with the suppressors.
I've heard they were just going to drop the tax.
Well, I'm sure that too, because that would come along with it. I'm assuming.
Well, I'm just saying they're not going to take it off the list, but they're just not going to tax it. You still are going to have to do the extra background and all that shit.
Oh no! What I'm hearing is that it's coming off.
That's what she said.
I'd rather pay the $200 for nonsense tax and have it come off. Like, here, I'll give you $200. Just let me come buy it and go home with it. You know.
So Nikolai and I were having a little friendly argument about that. As far as, if it comes off, they drop the tax. He's thinking that the market's going to get flooded and prices are going to, hit rock bottom. What do you think?
I think it's going to be like anything else. So the cream's always going to rise to the top. So companies that don't make suppressors now, but are boutique, expensive companies, and I'm only using them as an example because I can see my hat right now. But Noveski, if they started getting into the suppressor business, their cans are going to be expensive. And you got guys like Atlas Defense, who's his suppressor, he's always had affordable suppressors. I think it's just going to be like guns. You're going to pay for a name and you're going to somewhat pay for quality. But in some cases, you're going to find gems like at Atlas where he makes the same quality suppressor, but he's not ripping you off.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to get.
Initially, they're going to skyrocket because the supply is not going to meet the demand and prices skyrocket.
But I think there's going to be a race to the bottom for prices in order to get out front.
I agree with that too. But again, that's going to get separated by different companies, because there's companies that are never going to go to they're going to be like, our suppressors are worth more than that, so we're charging that. They're not going to go to the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, so
And as much as I like
I think there's going to be tiers of companies that are going to be fighting for customers, and then there's going to be, I don't even know if is going to be any middle stuff. I think you're right. I think everyone else is going to go straight to the bottom. And if like companies like Smith and Wesson and, you know, the big ones, Ruger and stuff, they start making cans. I mean, what are these other companies going to do? I mean, they're either fold or have to compete.
Yeah.
Because they have the capacity to crank them out.
And then, you know, if the SBRs are on there, now's the time to start buying your uppers. Go ahead and because the prices are low right now.
Well, that's why
low.
That's why I bring Smith and Wesson into it. I mean, they try to stay politically like in the middle. I know that for a fact. But if this became something that was regular and they were going to be losing sales, I think every one of these AR companies, it's gonna spike an entirely new interest in that market. Whereas the AR market right now is completely flat. It's been flat for years because everyone's already done everything, right? For the most part. Now you're building your own guns out of different calibers, and people are just, you know, that rifle that you showed us is not a common gun. You're probably the only person I know that's ever had one of those, that upper anyway. So, but that said, I think the AR market might spike again because everyone's going to start doing integrally suppressed ARs because you can just go buy the whole gun with the can and, you know, in it. And
that's what I was
going to be epic.
If both of these come off the NFA list, then I think the integrally suppressed technology, we're going to see a jump in that because people are going to start getting into that, and we're going to. But because why not? It should just automatically be a suppressed.
Let's just put it this way. Nobody wants to hear the sound of an AR go off.
Yeah,
I don't, and I love my ARs, but they're loud as hell.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they're going to get lighter. They're going to get smaller.
Yeah,
get quieter. But it's going to take time. I don't think it's not going to happen overnight. But I think there's some companies that already have that technology ready to go.
Yeah, and they're going to sell it to the big companies.
Yeah, and then they're going to sell it to the big companies. But just automatically buying without having a detachable, you know, two-piece thing. You know, I think the integrally suppressed, like you said, is going to be the way to go. That's going to be the new hotness.
Yeah,
and I'm here for it.
That'll be a fun shot show, won't it?
Oh God.
Real fun shot show.
That'll be interesting.
We'll be back, man. We're back, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, if that goes through, it's gonna be interesting to see how it affects the overall market. But yeah, anything else? I think I need to wrap this up because the thunderstorm's probably going to shut me down here in just a second.
You getting scared? All right,
I am getting scared.
All right, boys.
So Chad, thank you for joining. I appreciate you taking the time. We're going to do more with Chad coming up. Like I said, he's got some intentions.
I got nothing better to do is really what you're trying to say.
I've got some interviews lined up coming up, some interesting people, interesting topics. We're going to continue that espionage talk that we had with Brian and those guys. We didn't finish that, so we're gonna pick that up where we left off, maybe add a couple of new guests, and then the World War II Museum, the gentleman that we had on for that's going to be opening soon. So hopefully we'll be there for that grand opening, and we'll do the show from there. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a good time.
I want to go to that.
Chad is going to invite me down to Florida, and I'm going to go down to Florida, and we're going to do an episode or two from Florida. Maybe we get Hammer and Matt to join us.
Sure.
There's several firearms companies down there, but that'll be fun. And then the patches with Nikolai, guys. Make sure you email me. Hit us on the Instagrams. You can message us there. $25 a piece for the patches. All three, $50. Again, this is to support the show. Okay, we're not trying to gouge you or anything like that. I know you can get these patches cheaper somewhere else, but it's to support the show. We need your support. Like I said, I'm weaning myself from these companies and their sponsorships and advertising. Still going to do some, but I just don't want to have to rely on that to keep the show going. So the show is for you, the listener, the Leadhead Brigade. If you've got suggestions on topics, people, whatever you want to hear about, email me, talkinglead@gmail.com. Let me know your suggestions, and I'll do my best to make it happen. And Nikolai, again, the 9.3 tactical. Let me share that. on?
Or that and the Nikolai _ on the grams as well. You can see some of the other stuff that I've been doing. I've been posting on there. But I'll get the 9.3 updated here pretty quick. And
there it is. Did that show up? Yeah. So there it is right there. 9.3 Tactical. Just send a message directly to Nikolai, what you want. License plates, $30. Those are going to be really cool. And we got some other things. We're going to do some leadies. Can you engrave on magazines?
I can do it on painted. Whenever I just tried to engrave on a regular magazine, it kind of looked like garbage. I think I got one.
Okay. I can still get custom magazines.
I can do it on steel.
You can do it on steel? Okay. All right. I may get some steel ones sent to you to get some stuff done. But all kinds of things in the works. So I want to give you some guys some value for contributing to the show. I'm muting you. You're making a lot of noise, Nikolai. When you want to talk, just unmute yourself. But yeah, that's where we're at. Back on regular schedule. Be dropping these once a week or more. So stay tuned. Tune in, subscribe, follow, share. That's how we get past all these algorithms or get involved with the algorithms. The more that we're being shared and liked and comment on our post, it helps. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I want to say thank you to Nikolai. Again, thank you, Nikolai, for jumping on short notice and for doing this for the Leadheads, providing these awesome patches and license plates and, all this other cool stuff that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, man.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too, Chad.
All right, guys. So until the next episode, as always, keep your love, your who?
Firearms.
You're out of practice.
Keep your loved ones close.
Keep your firearms
closer.
Baby.
She said she made our thing.